Hello, 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 hello. Good evening, everyone. Magandang gabi sa lahat. It's a 6:57. We're earlier than 7, so we're gonna wait for others na makapasok pa sa live na to. If you want to share this live, please share this live. This is LifeTalks. Imagine nung nakaraan, we're just trying this out and ngayon nilagyan na natin ng title para medyo legit naman. So, I want you to share this live because we're gonna talk about one thing. Siguro sa marami sa inyo, nakikita nyo na yung topic natin dyan. But then I want you to just iday na lang natin and we're gonna start at 7. I'm here right now with Pedro Billones, my brother from the same mother and father, di ba? So, I want you to share this live. Di ba? Parang sa online selling, pa-share. Lan tayong pamain dito. Magandang gabi. And we are thankful for everyone, lalo na yung mga nag-aabang sa mga live natin because basically, we are here to encourage, to motivate people, and to give you some sort of an encouragement of all the bad news and the negative things that we're facing sa social media timeline natin. So, bati-bati muna kami dito sa lahat ng mga nanonood. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga nanonood ng mga previous episodes natin. Maraming salamat. We never thought that we would reach yung ganong karaming tao, but this is really our goal then to really reach out to people, to let you know that there is a better option. And there is a better way of thinking. There's a better way to believe. And there is a better news, good news that is. We would like to say shout-outs muna kay Rainiel. Actually, Rainiel was Peter's guest. And of course, si Pedro kanina sa live niya, you might want to check that out. I really love the way the discussion flowed sa live din niya. Of course, ako nagpapasalamat din tayo sa lahat ng mga nagsishare and also sa lahat ng nag-feedback on how they have been impacted and how yung mga live natin sa every time we go live is helpful din sa kanila. Of course, we're not here to help you and promote ourselves. We're here to promote God. Of course, bibigyan ko na. Kanina pa ako dito. I'm gonna give Kuya Pedro. Mas maganda yung kasi yung screen name natin. So Pedro, you can just say greetings to people na andito. Sige.
Alright, good evening everybody and welcome once again to Life Talks. No, kita nyo? Life Talks. We're gonna be talking more about life, about you, about all the experiences that we have, and hopefully we'll be learning from one another. And shout out sa mga nanonood sa amin. Thank you very much. And for those of you who have shared our videos, thank you very much. And hopefully we could encourage more people. So yun lang. The thing that the best thing that you could do is just to share this with somebody na kailangan din nila na rinig yung alam niyo naman, encouragement and especially from the Word of God. So yeah, shout out to everyone.
Yeah, by the way guys, this live or this video will be available on other platforms as well. It will be available on isa sa mga project namin na motivational YouTube channel, which is Move TV. It will also be available on my YouTube channel. It will also be available on Spotify, Apple Podcast. Just look for Kuya Rai, yung podcast ko. So nagpa-plug tayo dito kasi we want to just fill in every social media platform para naman maka-encourage sa mga tao. I really believe that ang kailangan natin ngayon is encouragement. And of course, ngayong gabi, diretso na tayo. Would like to say greetings muna sa lahat ng taga Zamboanga, lahat ng taga Iloilo, lahat ng maaabot ng broadcast na to. Anyway, ganito. Pag-uusapan natin ngayon ng fear.
Whoa.
Kung nakaraan, we talked about trials, we talked about hardships, we talked about worries. Medyo mas malalim yung topikong to ngayon. Kasi pag-uusapan natin yung fear. Lahat tayo merong fears. Marami ang ugat nito. I mean like, it rooted from way back in childhood or a lot of fears that has caused, kumbaga, nag-impact sa buhay natin. Hanggang ngayon, we have fear. So, pag-usapan muna natin dito yung fear. Kuya Pedro, para sa'yo, ano ba yung fear or anything that you would like to say muna patungkol sa fear? Your
So fear, no, as
oh, let's
kita ko dito defined in the dictionary. Fear is an emotion induced by perceived danger or threat, which causes physiological changes and ultimately behavioral changes, such as so marami dito, fleeing, hiding, so on and so forth. So fear is inevitable and it's part of our life. Pero depende sa atin sa pag uh, determine on how would we react to this. Kasi nakikita dito sa definition is an emotion induced by perceived danger. So nape-perceive pa lang natin. Pero what causes sabaga yung ano diyan, yung tension is how we react to that perceived danger or threat. So
perceived.
yeah.
So, ibig sabihin, when you fear, what you fear is parang you feel or you nararamdaman mo na may parating na panganib and threat sa buhay mo. The very reason why fear is like that siguro that tawag dyan, that instinct ng tao na mararamdaman pag feeling niya talaga na endangered siya. Para sa iyo, Pet, ano ba like growing up or in your lives in your life's journey, ano ba yung mga common fears na pinagdaanan mo or common fears that you have na baka makakonect din yung iba? So, what are your common fears?
Siguro especially now in this time, so even before when I was young, siguro the greatest fear of that I have encountered is fear of missing out.
Wow, that's
I don't know why, kasi tayo naman talaga tao, we really wanted to be heard, we really want to be seen, we really want to be sabaga noticed by everybody. So ako growing up siguro that's really one thing na I get to like face fear of missing out. I don't want to miss out on anything, ganito, ganyan. Pero it has its advantages and disadvantages too. Advantages is there. You could be like someone people would look up to, would see as an example. But the disadvantage too is minsan if you are there, people would also adapt to the negative things that you are doing. So yun lang yung medyo ano din, sad part.
fear of missing out. In our generation, it's very common kasi we want to be updated. Siguro that's one of the very reasons why na pagising mo sa umaga, you want to know what's the news, what's the latest movie, what's the latest chika, no? Because you fear of you have that fear of missing out. Growing up, ako marami akong fears din. Siguro balik ulit tayo dun sa pagkabata. I really have fear of the dark before, 'di ba? Siguro kasi nung mga bata pa lang ako, tinakot ako ng yaya. Or fear, isa din sa pinakamatinding fear ko because I grew up as an achiever was the fear of failure. Yung bang you really fear na yung ginagawa mo will fail. Hindi ka pa nga hindi ka pa nga naka-start and yet you're fearing na paano to mafe-fail tayo. So and also isa din sa mga fear ko is the fear of rejection. Fear mo na ma-reject ka ng tao kasi growing up, I really have my own share of moments that I got rejected. So, yun isa sa mga fear. By the way, I would like to ask our viewers, you can put in the comment section or in our live here, kung ano ba yung mga common fears that you are facing right now, fear of the future maybe, or whatever fear, you can just please put it on the comment section because we want to know. And also, we want to know from where you are watching. O, diba? So, fear perceived. Fear is when we feel something that it threatens us. Also, fear is something na nararamdaman mo bago pa man ito mangyari, di ba? So, for you, ano ba yung mga bagay that really contributes na tayo ay nagkakaroon ng mga ganitong fear? Of course, medyo naumpisa na natin. What are the common things that sabi nila, for you to know how to overcome something, you have to know the root cause. So, para sa iyo, Kuya Pedro, ano yung mga causes siguro ng mga fears natin na to? Sige nga, or you can cite examples of how your fear came to be, dapat ganun yung fear mo, or things like that. Let's do it.
So siguro, personally, growing up, yun, sa bata ka, if usually, nagsa-start yun kung binubuli ka nung bata ka. First na thing yun.
Ako dun sa mga nambubulis.
So yun, ala ka dyan, ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. And then people also like, they wanted to tear down your confidence growing up. Siguro as a child, na hindi mo yan kaya, wala yan, hindi mo yan, ano. You would be like fearful with everything. And then when people say that you have, wala kang kwenta, wala kang ano, so yun, di ka makapag-aaral ng mabuti. And then when also in your, in comparisons also with people sa yun, alam mo yung ano mo yung kapatid mo ganito mas magaling sa iyo, or ito yung classmate mo ganito kita mo ganyan. And then people just begin to like bombard you with stuff, and then it becomes a part of your life. Ganun, wag kang kumain ng ganyan kasi magaganito ka, wag kang pumunta diyan kasi maganyan ka, ganyan. So I think fear really started young. So like what we are always saying, the enemy also starts young. So binubombard niya yan, so yung fear, yung fear, yung fear, yung fear. So for me, it really starts young. So shout out sa mga parents na nandyan. If you have kids, please, even though if it's just little stuff that you tell them na, ay, wag kang ganito, ganito, may mumu dyan, ganyan. Sometimes it could it could also depict a lot of fear to these children. And sa inyo dyan na nagbubuli, please stop that. Because you never even know what would happen to a person kung you would struck in a fear in them. Alam ko, people na nagbubuli, binubuli din yan noon. So, please, wag nyo nang overcome evil with good na lang tayo. So, yun din.
I also can remember no na talking about fear din. Isa sa mga reason why we fear things to happen is because may mga bagay din na nangyari na sa atin which harmed us in the process and naging traumatic yung experience na yun. Like for example, the fear of yung fear na malulunod ka. Kasi yung fear ng water, anong tawag dyan? Hydrophobia. Kasi maybe in the past, nag-try kang lumangoy, tapos biglang parang na-drown ka. There's always fear. Ito yung matindi. Uso to ngayon eh. Heart at saka like sa mga nag-agree. The fear of loving again. Kasi dati nagmahal ka, binigay mong lahat, nagmahal ka ng buong buo, nagmahal ka and you've loved and you got hurt. So parang ayoko nang magmahal ulit. I won't risk at all. Diba may mga nagsabi ayoko nang ma-fall ulit kasi I fear na ma-hurt ako. Parang ganun. So fear. Fear is something na yung cause niya, uulitin natin. Fear is perceived, but yung fear may cause, may pinanggalingan ng hugot mo, ba't ka natatakot? Now, my question is, bago tayo pumunta doon sa advices or tips or how to overcome fear, ano ba yung negatibong resulta ng fear sa atin? What are the negative things that fear could do sa buhay mo? Like, you can talk about that.
Siguro for me, fear could really cripple you real time, real hard. What do you mean by that? Example, sabi ng mga tao, example gano'n, yung sinasabi natin, fear of falling in love again. Di ba? Bakit? Bakit ba? Why would you even tell yourself not to fall in love again if alam mo naman na si Lord nga nagmahal sa atin eh. And His love is everlasting. It doesn't mean that because you just failed in this one relationship, yun na sa kabila, sabi mo, hindi na to kasi baka ma-hurt ko lang siya ulit, baka hindi na to ma-work out ulit. So sometimes fear could really cripple us, and sad to say, decisions in our life would also be affected. And example, di ba? Yun nga, yung may kanta, every long lost dream led me to where you are. Others who broke my heart, they were like northern stars, leading me on my way into your loving arms. This much I know is true. Ito, yung last words. That God bless the broken road and led me straight to you. Alam ko, siyempre si Lord yun una. Na-lead tayo kay Lord. But falling in love again, and trusting once again with people, um, yun nakikripple talaga sa atin. And then, yun na, kahit ano kang pogi, ano kang ganda, sabi mo, wala na to. I don't have any future with my love life, ganun. Pero okay naman, kung narinig nyo yung, yung post ko tungkol sa okay lang ba maging single, okay lang yun maging single kung cold ka talaga ng Lord, di ba? But, if sabi doon, if you burn with passion, mas maganda na lang you marry somebody. I believe, hindi pa huli ang lahat.
Ayun. So your fear. Fear has a crippling effect. Yun bang you will not do things kasi you have the fear na hindi mo makakaya or it won't work out for you. So I would like to greet muna yung mga kasama natin dito sa sa chat. Sa chat sa comment section. I would like to say hi to Melanie Mamalias from Bukidnon. Ayan. So, isa daw sa mga fear is the unknown. Mamaya, pag-usapan natin yan. And of course, si Ivan. Siguro kasama niya si Julie ngayon. Shout out daw kay Christian. Tukaling sa fear of falling in love. Wow. Kaya kaya nga nagmahal siya ulit ng lubusan. And shout outs kay Christian. Na ulit, babalik ako dun sa fear of the unknown. It cripples you because sometimes meron ding mga fear na hindi mo rin alam na nag-fear ka. Bakit? Because you just feel like or you don't know, parang nararamdaman mo lang yung fear. So it cripples us and causes us even to make wrong moves and bad decisions. Maraming beses na dahil sa takot tayo, nagiging anong tawag doon, hindi manhid nagiging immobile tayo, nagiging unuseful tayo. Neto pa, the more that we fear, minsan because of that fear, nami-miss out. Eto kanina, you fear that you'll miss out. You fear that you'll miss out on something. But because of that fear, the more you fear actually, the more mo pang nami-miss out yung mga magagandang opportunities sa buhay mo. Diba? Hello, shoutouts kay Nehemiah Peace. The more that you fear, the more that you'll miss out pa. Kasi minsan you will not take this opportunity because you are fearing that something will happen. You will not take this step because you are fearing na something bad will happen to you. And who knows, that step that you didn't take, actually, yun na sana yung step na kailangan mo for your next level. 'Di ba? It cripples you. Yung una, kanina sabi mo, pangalawa nakita ko, it also causes us to miss the opportunities na sana para sa atin. Ano pa, meron ka pang maidagdag, like, ano yung ginagawa, ano yung mga resulta ng fear sa atin? So, sige nga, I think you're thinking of something.
All right, so here, um,
Good, go.
fearing in the Bible, yung naalala natin yung sa time ni Abraham. Abraham pa yon siya. Pumunta siya sa isang lugar and then sabi niya, oh, mga tao dito, walang takot sa Diyos to. So yun, dahil doon nagsinungaling siya. So imagine this, that fear. That fear of knowing na hindi sila nag-fear kay God that time resulted to Abraham lying. So dito pala natin nakikita na yung effect ng fear, sometimes it could change our decisions in life big time. So if I'm telling you right now, if you're watching this and then fear has once crippled your life, si Abraham, nangyari din yun sa kanya. So balik lang tayo kay Lord. And please, don't ever let that cripple you forever. But instead, you could see that there's a solution still, sa mga nangyayari sa atin.
Ayos. Yung fear na yon causes you to miss out on things, causes you even to make bad decisions, bad choices. And fear is actually the opposite of faith, di ba? Kasi when you have faith, you will really believe that something's gonna happen, that God is gonna be with you. Ang daming negative thing ng fear. And siguro Although there are things, babalansin natin, may mga bagay din that isa sa mga nakita ko sa fear actually medyo positive yung dating niya kasi if you start na nakakaramdam ka ng fear, that fear checks. Sini-check niya kamusta yung yung status ng pananampalataya, ng belief mo. Kamusta yung status ng will mo? Kamusta yung status even ng sarili mo din? It is a check. Diba? Parang ini-evaluate niya yung how ready are you or are you really ready? Kasi if there was one time that I was being challenged to go somewhere and to serve the Lord in another place, and our mentor sabi niya if you just have a bit of fear in your heart, huwag ka nang umalis. And tinanong ko sarili ko, bakit? Di ba pwede na may konti lang? Kasi daw, it will cripple you, it will hold you back. That pagdating ng araw, babalik ka na sana hindi na lang ako. It will cause to regret. So, it's also a check. So, yun. Those are the results of fear. And we all fear. Lahat tayo may mga fears tayo eh. Siguro nanonood ka, kami man, ang dami ko nang naiisip ngayon, may fear pala ako nito. So, in just a short span of time, we've evaluated ito yung fear, ito yung causes ng fear, ito yung resulta ng fear sa atin. And a big part of it was fear is not helpful at all. It's not really, kung meron man siyang mga konting advantage, konti. Pero it's not helpful for us in achieving the things that God has planned for us. Lahat tayo may plano ang Panginoon sa atin. Lahat tayo may piniprepare ang Panginoon sa atin in the future. But we could not go there sometimes because that we fear. Now, eto na. How do you overcome fear, Kuya Pedro? How do we overcome fear? So yung tanong, okay Kuya Ray, eto. Kuya Pedro, okay na. Meron nga akong fear. Sige, kagaya ngayon, COVID. Eto na, nag-crippled na ako. So, aaminin ko na crippled na ako. May mga problema na, nagkakaproblema na ako. Okay, aamin ko na. Pero yung practical steps or anything that we can say, Kuya, paano ko ba ma-overcome yung fear if I am fearing right now? So, take it away, Kuya Pedro.
Alright, actually overcoming fear is really not that easy. It's a process. First things first siguro, ako personally, to be honest with you, you have to pray first sa Panginoon and ask help from Him. And I believe the Lord is going to lead you to a person who had experienced that same kind of fear before and then overcome niya. So, for example, if you have a fear sa identity mo, fear of the unknown, sabi nga iba, fear of loving again. So you have to that's the reason why, kahit nasabihin natin na it's kind of weird, like having people surrounding you, like somebody who cares for you, sa mga churches may mga cell group, may mga discipleship group. Sometimes, alam nyo, even in the time of Jesus, mga disciples noon, hindi naman sila talaga magagaling. And they have lots of fears. Kung isipin nyo, they have lots of fears. And knowing that Kuya Reyes mentioned Abraham na faith, father of faith. Siya mismo, marami ding fears. Pero him, acknowledging that fear and seeking the one who could help him overcome that. Yun siguro, first things first, you have to know that you couldn't make it on your own. You have to have somebody who could help you. And if not the person, first and foremost, yung Diyos talaga yung makakatulong. And then I believe it's gonna lead you to the right person na magtulong sa'yo in that overcoming that kind of fear.
You need somebody. We all need somebody. Grabe, naalala ko tuloy. Sa takbo natin sa buhay, sa biyahe natin sa buhay, hindi pwedeng mag-isa lang tayo. Hindi pwedeng ikaw, ako, kundi kailangan dapat tayo, 'di ba? Kahit walang tayo, basta kailangan magkasama tayo. The fears that we take, the fears that we have, kailangan isa sa mga mga makaka-overcome sa atin, picking up from you was we find somebody whom that could help us. We find somebody who has been there. For example, if we fear yung dagat, kailangan somebody na nakita natin na lumalangoy talaga and has overcome that. So, now this is where it helps if we find people that could help us. But they could not help you once you tell them that kailangan mo sila. So, number one nakikita mo is you look for people who will help you. In these times, ganito yan eh. In these times, lalo na marami tayong fear, and minsan natitempt tayo, I'm just wanna build up on that, kasi natitempt tayo to be alone, lalo na ngayon naka-quarantine ka, you quarantine yourself, not just physically, but you quarantine yourself from others, kasi wala, akala mo it's not possible. But because na it's not healthy na, and hindi na ito nakakatulong sa atin, we encourage you, lalo na if you have lots of fear, you find a group or a person that could strengthen you and help you. Kasi, eto, which leads me sa isa kong observation with fear. Which leads you that you find people who will push you, who will encourage you, who will even, anong tawag dito? Kung yung fear ay malaki or yung fear ay evident sa buhay natin, the only thing that could conquer fear is faith. Which leads me to the next, sa isa kong nakikita, for you to conquer fear is for you to fill yourself up with things that will build up your faith. Now, building up your faith does not just mean building up your faith on yourself, building up your faith on others, but building up your faith. Eto real talk. Building up your faith on the one who is able to overcome your fear. Isa sa kanina sa definition natin, we fear what will happen next. We fear something that that will happen in the future. Let me ask you, who is that somebody who has already been in the future? Who knows your future? Who knows all the days set for me were written in your book before one of them came to be? Now, therefore, doon ka magkikling. Now, eto na. You build your faith. You build your faith. You intensify your faith to this God who is powerful, who is able. Now, kung titingnan mo, the more He is magnified and the more your faith is built up, fear diminishes. Diba? Anything more you can add up to that, Pet?
Siguro, ito kasi, two fears. So we're gonna have fear of not pleasing people or fear of pleasing God. So it's two different things. So either or, dalawa lang naman yung decision natin. If something happens to us, nag-trigger sa fear, it is fear of pleasing people or fear of God. So let me say an example with this. So doon kanina si Abraham, di ba? Fear of losing people kasi mamamatay sila kung di siya magsinungaling. Pero nakalimutan niya na pwede siyang mag-fear kay God na magsabi, hindi. I will stand on what is right and I will just trust God on this.
Mm-hmm.
So, sabi natin, talaga? Ganyan ba talaga? Yeah, example, Joseph. Joseph in the Bible, ito, nakikita ko rin yung fear doon. Fear, kasi, di ba, tinangka siyang gustong i-rape ng ano niya, ng asawa ng boss niya.
Yeah.
He could like say, okay, I feared her, so I will just give in, or I would fear God and just go away.
Come on.
So sometimes when this fear comes, we have this mindset, am I gonna fear people or am I gonna fear God? And imagine this, sino ba yung nauna? Si Joseph o si Moses? Diba? Si Joseph, wala pa doon yung 10 Commandments. Bakit nag-fear siya kay God? It's because he has built that faith in God. And that's the reason why he could say no to this fear of man and he developed this fear of God in his lifetime.
So, the antidote to fear is fear.
Mhm.
Fearing what we may have fears, pero para ma-overcome natin yung fear, we have to fear God. And fearing God means surrendering. Fearing God means you just allow Him to take over. Ganda, ganda. Napapaisip tuloy ako na a lot of times we fear the wrong stuff in this world. So, parang pwede din na when you fear God, that's the time na yung fear mo sa Kanya will overpower all your fears in this world. So if your fear of Him overpowers all your fears, yung fear mo sa Kanya is greater, which means mas stronger yung paniniwala mo that He can do it. Kasi ganito yun eh. Don't you know that fear also is faith? Uulitin ko. Fear is faith. What you fear, you have faith on. Pwede, ganito. I fear that I'm gonna die tomorrow. I fear that somebody will take my life tomorrow. Example. I fear that, therefore I believe that. Tama? So like for example, I fear failure, therefore I believe in failure. Pwede, di ba? Like, okay, I fear that people will reject me if I will not fit in. Therefore, I have faith na, oh sige, naniniwala ako. They will really reject me. Pero when you fear God, when you fear Him, you believe in Him, when you fear na etong ang Diyos ko will take care of me because He's more powerful than me,
Mhm. Mhm.
that will overcome all the rest of your fear. Now, there was, I forgot, I think it was a pastor friend. I think one of these days, he will be with us. Sabi niya, pag nag-fear ka daw, what you fear the most, you have faith the most. Alright. So, kung nag-fear ka na you're failing, you're gonna fail in your exam, yun yung palagi sa mind mo. That's what you believe in. Grabe. Grabe yung ano. It's somewhat like a parang a contrasting na ano na na idea. But it's the truth. And that came out, that was reminded to me when sinabi mo dalawa lang naman eh. If you fear God,
Mhm.
fear man. Ano pa, you have things that you have there.
But you know what? Like going back sa kay Abraham, kita mo dun, nagtangka siyang maglay kasi hindi niya gustong mamatay si ano eh, si Sarah at siya. So na-fail siya doon. But as we move forward and the time na i-sacrifice na si Isaac,
Mhm.
imagine this. He's more than willing to kill Isaac to be a sacrifice, and doesn't matter syempre kung papatayin niya anak niya, malamang malalaman ng buong all of the people. But this has developed his faith, and then he crossed from that fear of man to this avenue of fearing God. So here is the thing. There would be situations in our life
Come on.
that we would be taking a very important choice. Are we gonna be going into the sphere of man, or are we gonna step to the next level of our life and be able to activate that fear of God? So I don't know if I'm speaking to somebody right now. Sabi mo, bakit palagi itong nangyayari ngayon? Bakit palaging ganito? Have you tried fearing God in that situation rather than fearing what would people say? What is your status? Ano ka? Anong sasabihin nila? Kasi ayoko na, I don't want to be with my barkada anymore, pero napipressure pa na ako. Are you willing to take that away and willing to kill it in order for you to submit to this fear of God? But guess what? The things that you think give up mo kay Lord, makukuha mo pa rin yan sila. But this time, with the right na perspective na you are with God, and guess what? You have even saved them from their sins.
Wow. Letting go of your own fear. I really can see, for example, na alam mo that God could do it, then why not give it to him? So when you don't fear him, that means to say you don't surrender to him. When you don't surrender and you don't let go, you're taking things also into your hand. Kasi yung nakataya din yung sarili mo. And we live in a world in which weakness is being like, kung weak ka, parang kinakansawan ka. But I believe that on another perspective, when we're at the point that we are fearing the most, I think the very first thing that we should realize is the more na we acknowledge that we are weak, we acknowledge na wala tayong magagawa kung wala talagang Panginoon. And that's why we fear Him. That's why we allow Him to take over. I remember there was one time that I say, kasi ba't pa natin hahawakan yung fear with our closed hands na pwede naman nating i-let go and let Him take care of our fears. And you know what? As you move and kaya nga, when you do that, when you let go of your fears, actually letting go of your fears is a step of what? Is a step of faith. It's opposite. When you hold on, you're fearing, but when you let go of that fear and you fear God, you 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 take that step of faith. Step of faith because God is gonna take over. So bago tayo magpatuloy, and I think we're going to our conclusion and last words, I would like to say hi sa lahat ng andito, si Hart Reyes, si Jennifer watching, si Norhana from Zamboanga. Hello sa iyo, Hana. Si Maria Geraldine Duronio, kasama ko sa SOS to dati. Si Pastor Lonilyn Bonco Faustorelia. Saka si Ivan pa rin. Not knowing yourself is more dangerous and fearful. So we need to know ourselves, and also we need to know God, sabi ni Ivan. Alright, so any parting message? Kasi alam ko, sa lahat ng pinag-usapan natin, it's either anything of those, may mga natutunan sila eh. Pero what for you, before we end, ano pa yung anything that you can leave our viewers with? Of course, they all need to hear stuff na what's in your heart and about fear, and take it away.
So yun, like what we said, define natin kanina yung fear no, na perceive natin na may danger. And actually, yung tinitira talaga doon is the way we react on things, the way yung ano ba yung gagawin natin kung mangyayari to. And sometimes that's where the enemy cripples us. So the Bible is clearly saying sa Proverbs na the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Come on,
Actually,
let me hear
sa
that.
fear, wisdom yung kailangan natin. And the best wisdom that we're gonna have is from God. Wisdom to what? Although we perceive it, although we see it, although we hear it, although we feel it, but the moment that we react with wisdom, it cancels all the fear. So I'm challenging everybody right now. I'm telling you, you have to fear God because the fear of the Lord will be the beginning of wisdom. And once we have this wisdom, guess what? We could never be crippled by fear anymore.
Wow. Amazing. Grabe yun. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Kaya pala pag sobrang, alam mo yun, yung sobrang kang natatakot, nanginginig ka na hindi mo alam ang gagawin. But the moment you are filled right now with fear, you start to surrender all those fears to God and fear Him and allow Him to take over because He will take control. Natatakot tayo maraming beses kasi akala natin we're all alone. We could not do it. Loneliness or being alone is isa sa mga battles natin sa buhay. We fear man because we fear that they will leave us. And sometimes we forget that if you fear the Lord will never leave you. In fact, He never left. So, my takeaway is, for tonight, isa sa mga takeaway ko is, let's just allow our fears na to be overcome by our fear of the one who is able to overcome our fears for us. And that is fearing the Lord, walking with Him, having that relationship with Him, in which we always encourage you. Kasi wala naman talagang matapang sa lahat sa atin. Kami may fear din ako, marami akong fears. But people will say, paano mo na-conquer yung fear mo? Actually, there is no such thing as a process, as a step-by-step process to overcome fear. But the solution to fear, hindi processes. The solution to fear, hindi methodologies. The solution to fear is a person. And that is God. That is God. That is Jesus. That is the one who said, Isaiah 41 verse 10, do not be afraid, for I am with you. Take note. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you up with my victorious right hand. He is with you. That alone is a sure assurance of whatever. When you pass through the waters, you will not be drowned. When you pass through the flames, you will not be burned. Kasi kasama mo siya. He is with you. The very reason why na in this world, in the New Testament, He did not just said this in Isaiah and then He was so far up there, but He sent Jesus, Emmanuel, just to prove and to let the people know, I am with you. Kaya ngayon, our challenge is with all our fears. Are you willing to let go? Are you willing to surrender your fear sa Panginoon and allow Him to take care of everything? Now, my challenge is to all of you guys, with all that we've been talked about as you review everything, we can always be brave. Makakaya natin yung perceived danger that would harm us if we only surrender. Surrender is a sure ender. Diba? A sure ender of fear. It will end all your worries. Ganun talaga yung conclusion naman talaga lahat eh. Because when you fear God, you allow Him to move. When you fear God, you walk with wisdom, because it's not gonna be our own wisdom who's gonna allow us to conquer our fears, but it's gonna be His wisdom working through us. And you know what? All we need to do is to renew that relationship sa Panginoon. Kasi ganito lang naman yan, kung sinong kasama mo sa journey, yun magdedetermine kung paano at, di ba, parang how you will survive the journey of life. Kunyari, pupunta ka sa isang adventure, kasama mo walang dala. Wala nga kayong pagkain, ibig sabihin hindi nyo matatapos. In this adventure of life, if we have God, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. He will be with us. Kaya nga, when you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, He will be with you. The importance of having Him, the importance of fearing Him, will eventually be the solution to our fears. Whatever your fear may be, we have fears. Lahat tayo may fear. All we need to do is just to surrender and fear Him. Alright, so maraming salamat. If you want to talk further, and if you want us to pray for you, you want to talk about this, you need people. Kanina sinabi natin, you need people to be with you. Message us, we can connect you to people. And also, if you want, we can start something. We can have a group. We can link you with a person near you. And let's talk about how we could walk this life. Kanina sinabi together. And you will never, ever be alone. Kasi kaya mo sa biyahe ng buhay, sa takbo natin sa buhay, you should not fear because kasama mong Panginoon. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng nanonood. nanood. And if this is valuable to you, I know this will be valuable to others also. And if you have any other insights, you are welcome to put it in the comment section. And if you want us to talk about something next, what topic do you want us to talk next? Put it in the comment section and we will talk about that. Anyway, we will not miss this chance, but we will pray for you. And in just a short while, I'll just be praying. Lord, I pray, Father, that you will be the God who will strengthen and comfort those who are fearing, those who have fears right now. And also pray, God, that Lord, let them come and surrender voluntarily, Lord God, their fears to you. I pray, Lord, that their fear of you will be greater than any fear they have, and you will help them. Lord, let them overcome. Lord, I also pray, God, that, Lord, they will renew their relationship to you, with you, in this journey of life. Maraming salamat, Panginoon. Lord, we bless you. We thank you for everything that you're doing in our lives. So we thank you for this life talks, because we believe that we can only talk about life, and that the only solution to everything that we face in life is you, Jesus. God, you, Jesus, because you are life itself. Because he who has the Son has life and have it more abundantly. Maraming salamat, Panginoon, for today. In Jesus' name. Maraming salamat, Pedro. I would like to give you time to promote, then we go outro.
So there you have it, guys. So thank you very much, and you could also go and check my Facebook page, Pedro Billones, and we are also uploading videos in my YouTube channel, Pedro Billones. So keep it up, guys, and always remember na hindi ka nag-isa.
Right. So maraming salamat. This will be broadcasted also on my YouTube channel, on Move TV, saan-saan pa, on my podcast. By the way, if you happen to be on Spotify, sa mga naka-Spotify dyan, look for Kuya Rai. The spelling is right there. So, I have daily nuggets of wisdom dito din sa Facebook. I'm doing it also on IGTV on Instagram. Maraming salamat for being here with us. Whatever your fear may be, kayang-kaya mo yan kasi kasama ang Panginoon. And of course, maraming salamat for tonight. Just be announcing when our next live will be kasi susulpot-sulpot na kami dito sa timeline nyo. Anyway, Live Talks. Maraming salamat. This is Kuya Rai, and of course, kasama ko din si Kuya si Kuya Pedro. And we're all thanking you all. This is me and Kuya Pedro encouraging you to keep on loving God, keep on knowing Him. And of course, I really believe sa buhay natin, the best is coming. Good night, guys. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. God bless you.
God
Bye.
bless.
Bye.